So, how's your week gone? Have you learned anything new? I hope some of the tips have helped you think about your priorities and how you spend your time so that you can be more intentional in the future. Earlier this week I mentioned that we should be careful to invest our time rather than just spend it. God cares about how we use the time He's given us. We please God when we invest time in eternal pursuits versus spending time on earthly activities and just stuff. We've covered a lot of these eternal pursuits over the last couple of months. Pursuing your purpose, practicing spiritual disciplines, exercising spiritual gifts, etc. Those are all investments of our time. The funny thing is that even though we cannot attain more time, we can multiply our time when we invest it by following God's principles. Have you ever noticed that? At the start of this day, you probably thought, I don't have time for this. But as you intentionally made time for it, did you discover that you got the time back someplace else? Maybe something you thought would take longer didn't, and maybe you naturally started waking up earlier this morning. I've always felt that the time I put into studying God's Word and praying to Him, He returns to me somehow. I don't know how He does it, but He leverages and multiplies our time when we're doing those things that are of eternal value. Time is a gift, so invest it wisely. What if you were told you had just 5 years left to live? Would you wake up tomorrow with the same goals and priorities that you had last week? Maybe. What if you were told you had 3 years left to live? Same question. 1 year? 6 months? In that case, probably a lot of things you wouldn't care about. Live life in such a way that you don't have regrets about how you spent your time. Determine your priorities, block your calendar to reflect those priorities, and ask the Lord to help you honor Him and bless others through how you spend your time. Tomorrow I'll share an article written years ago by a close friend after he received the news that his time was ending soon. It's a powerful reminder not to take the time you have for granted.